In this video, I'm going to show you how mastering a simple maneuver can change your forward loops from this to this. Yeah, that might seem crazy because what we're talking about is just mastering the simple flare jibe. Yes, I did say flare jibe. Now, there's a few of you now going, oh, shut up, Ben, we're off. Well, I suggest you wait right there, because if you are landing your forward loops flat, hard, you're breaking boards, or maybe you're even scared to do them, this maneuver can seriously help you. There was like a eureka moment when I realized how big this flare jibe that I learned years ago on a longboard was helping me do stalled forwards, planing forwards, and just normal everyday forwards with no flat landings. Why? How? Well, let me explain. Okay, so the main thing for doing a very good planing forward or a controlled forward loop, a big stalled one, is the gear goes around you. Yeah, you've seen Victor Fernandez, you've seen Philip Costa. All the top boys do forward loops with this technique. Whether they know it or not, the gear goes around them. You watch them when they do double forward loops. The best guys in the world have this technique. Now, this is a big one. The way I like to explain it is a wheel. If you have a wheel spinning, if you're on the outside of this wheel, you are going so fast. If you're in the middle of the wheel, you are hardly moving, but the wheel is moving at the same speed. Now, this is the same in a forward loop. If you're in the middle of the rotation and the gear goes around you, your body doesn't move much and you retain control of the rig. If you do bad forward loops, you land hard, you are getting pulled around by the rig. If you do good ones, you can land planing most times, you are in the center of that rotation. And this simple flare jibe can teach you that technique. So, without further ado, I'm going to go on the water and do some demos. So the main thing we're trying to achieve when doing the flare jibe is the rig movement, the board going first, and the sail following. Again, this is exactly the same technique you see in a forward loop, a good forward loop, I should say. It's the same as a Waimaru. Board goes first, you disconnect with the hips, and then you bring the sail afterwards. That is what we're looking for. So, with a flare jibe, you're putting your hand down the boom. You're actually pushing out with the backhand, so you're not pulling in. If you pull in with your backhand, the pressure goes straight into the mast foot and you cannot move the board off the wind. It sticks the board down. By releasing the backhand, it frees up the nose. You can pull the rig across you and push down with the mast foot, which moves the board downwind. Then you're in that forward loop position. You then, with the hand back, you move the rig to the front. Now the hand goes back to move the rig forward, not just to pull in the power as most people think. For me, it's all about getting that rig forward. Hips, look at those hips. It's all in the hips. So you've got to twist that body, disconnect the top from the bottom half of your body. The bottom goes first, top follows. So as you can see, the simple flare jibe, you can finish it off with a little forward loop over the top if you're just getting into forwards. But even that first bit of rig movement, board movement, is what you're looking for. This is how a good forward loop should feel. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not as simple as just going up and doing a big old flare jibe. There is that forward loop technique where you're getting power in the front of the sail. But essentially, you need to feel that flare jibe to do those good stall forwards and the planing forwards. It happens very quick. You're not going to do it slowly when you're up in the air. There is a quick maneuver, a quick movement, which is why training it in the flare jibe will help the muscle memory. And when you're 20 foot up there, you'll be able to remember how it is.
Looks just like me.
Also, you can practice this in hardly any wind. You can practice on a beginner board like I'm doing. You can practice on your freestyle board. Like I said, doesn't need to be windy, doesn't need to be wavy, which is why this is a super cool move to be practicing. Now, I know a lot of you just want to get to the glory stuff. Now, a lot of the guys that get to the glory stuff have just got massive balls. Yes, massive balls. Do you need big balls to do a forward loop? No, I say this on every Send It Academy we ever do. It's not about balls, it's about technique. If you've got the right technique, you will feel safe. You should never go on top of the rig. You should always stay under the rig. This is what this maneuver teaches you as well. So it teaches you the disconnect and then staying within the power zone. Like I said, there's a lot of other things going to be talked about with this forward loop of why it helps. Once you push the rig forward, your body is naturally at the back of the rig, so you can use your weight to pull in the backhand. If you're just trying to pull it in with your bicep muscles, you're not going to do it. I'm not saying you're not strong. I'm not saying you're not be down the gym, but just to physically pull it in won't work. If you throw the rig to the front, your body weight's at the back, you just got to turn your weight into it. It's so easy. On the takeoff for a forward loop, when you twist it all off to go downwind like a Waimaru and you throw that rig forward, as we just talked about, your body weight goes to the back and you can use the momentum of you traveling forwards to pull in the sail. So those all things go together. Just lifting the leg up and you will go round. You will go round. It's really that simple. The Waimaru, as I've said in numerous other videos and a lot of other people have said it, that is the key and that's why. But the flare jibe is the first stage of a good Waimaru. If you can't do a flare jibe with power, throwing that board downwind, especially the big boards, maybe an inflatable SUP or a beginner board, you won't be able to do a good Waimaru. So, there we go. I hope there's some interesting bits in there. You only need to take one thing away from this video and you've already learned something new. Let me know in the comments if you did, what thing has struck. Maybe you go, Ben, you're talking rubbish, mate. So this is just a quick video just to sow the seed to what to go and practice. I will follow this video up in a few weeks with the next stage. I hope you enjoyed that video. Will the next video come in a few weeks? Well, I don't know. I'm about to leave for Cape Town. Yes, I'm going to Cape Town, 6 weeks. We're going to try and do some Send It Academy type stuff. I say type stuff because Colin Whippy Dixon is having a baby. Well, he's not having a baby. His girlfriend, fiance, is having a baby. So he's not going to Cape Town this year. It's just me. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle to fit everybody in, but we're going to do some stuff. If you know, you know. And if I'm there and there's spaces and you're in Cape Town, maybe something can work out. But if you've not subscribed to the Send It Academy email, I'll put the link in the comments below. I actually haven't sent one email on that thing, so we don't spam. I'm only going to do it when everything's settled down and we are doing courses and there are weeks. Colin is still doing courses in Tenerife. If you want to get on one of his courses, windsurfing coaching, you'll have to look, but you can join with him. But in terms of me, Send It Academy, we actually haven't done anything since the pandemic started, just because it's an absolute nightmare. But if you go on that email, like I say, there's no spam going through, but when something happens and there are spaces available, I will ping out that email. Now, I won't lie, it is super overbooked. Every course is pretty much overbooked before we don't even put them online anymore, because we have so many people already in the system. But like I said, if something comes available, I will put it to the email. So there you go. Like I say, I hope you found that video interested. Let me know all the thing, and subscribe to the channel. There is more stuff coming, especially from Cape Town.